Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about July's TBR, which it's crazy that it's already July, but you know, it is what it is. Also, it's kind of a TBR for the last week of June because I'm through my TBR for June. Technically I have one book left on that TBR, but I'm really not in the mood for that. So I will most likely start with July's TBR in the last week of June. But yeah, I have 7 books on my July TBR, which is a little bit less than I normally would, but I kind of want to focus on really getting through these, and some of them are really like a lot bigger, and I want to give myself ample of time to get through them. And also 3 of them are rereads for a big reason, which we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna leave the rereads for last, and we're gonna talk about the books I generally want to get through first. So the first one is Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chan. This is one of the Illumicrate books that I've gotten. This is one, you know, from when I still got the fantasy Illumicrate. I have no idea what this book is about, but I do really love the design of the book. So yeah, it has something to do with revenge, because on the back it says to seek revenge she needs to stay alive. So we'll see what it's about. I don't know, but it seems to have something to do with dragons, and I'm hopeful that it is maybe a more Asian inspired fantasy. And yeah, most likely there will be a romance in here, so we'll see if I will like it at all. But you know, we're gonna try. And then I have a second one from Book Boxes, but this one is actually I think the first book I ever got in an Illumicrate, no, in a Fairy Loot that I did not read once I got it, and that is This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria. I have no idea what this book is about. The back says, change your fate, pay the price. You know, the Fairy Loot ones came with like these pictures with like a letter from the author on the back, so that is in here as well. And there also might be a yes, there is also a bookmark in there, but I'm not sure if it's the bookmark for this book, to be honest. But yeah, that is the second Book Box book I will try to read next month. I need to really get my way through them because they annoy me on my shelves. And if I DNF them, I DNF them, but I kind of want to give them all a try at least. So yeah, those two I'm pretty sure will be fantasy romances, which I don't enjoy particularly a lot. And those are 2 contenders that might be a DNF, expectedly. But I will give them a good try before I do anything as drastically as DNF them. Then we have one I'm kind of excited for, and that is the next James Rowland's book I want to read, and I chose this one, which is The Last Oracle. I'm not reading them in order. I know that some of them I have are in an order, but I don't care. I don't think it's that problematic for these like adventure military type novels, so I don't think it's really that much of a problem. And yeah, this one, it has the main character of Commander Gray Pierce, which I think I have read one book from him with that main character. So yeah, I like James Rowland's. They are between like 3 and 4 stars, at least the ones I've read so far, and they all have they kind of remind me of the Dan Brown books. In general, they have like some kind of religious, iconic, mythological connection, and our main character is military, but he's like a special military group where all of the ones in the group have like PhDs and stuff like that, so they are the particularly like knowledgeable military unit, something like that. And yeah, we'll see how it is. I am excited for that one because I do like those kind of books, and James Rowland's so far has been a lot better than some others, so maybe we'll get a good book out of that. And then I have my last Karen Slaughter book, which is Genesis. This is also a series, which I also am not reading them in the order. I don't think it's necessary for crime thrillers, mostly. Kind of a little bit with the Bones series, where I feel like you don't really need to get all of her like private life necessarily in order. You can just read them randomly. And I only own this one. I don't really know if I want to buy more of them, so I'm just gonna read this one. So yeah, this one is Will Trent with the main character, which I think there's also a series out there for these ones. And yeah, I don't know much about them other than that they are crime thrillers, and on the top it says the first woman was tortured, the second was scared to death, no, a sadistic killer hunts the third. So we'll see what this is about, but yeah, Karen Slaughter is kind of hit or miss for me as well, but I do want to have it done. So the month of July is kind of a month of books I just really want to get off of my TBR. And now we're coming to the rereads. The first reread is a sci-fi book, and that is The Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I enjoyed this book. I think it was a 4-star for me. And the thing is, I have the second one on my TBR shelf, somewhere on there. I think it's like there. And it is so long ago that I read the first one that I just cannot remember the story anymore, and it doesn't really make sense to read the second one without remembering the first one, so I have decided I really want to get to the second one, so we will have to do a reread of the first one. But yeah, this is the Architects series, and this is about an alien species that are kind of like as big as planets, or like really big spaceships, and once they come to a planet they reshape the planet and kill pretty much everything that is on it, and that is the same thing that they did to Earth. And so our main characters here have like been like, they live off of Earth, they live on the moon and like colony ships and stuff like that, and they kind of are working to stop the architects. They are thrown in there. It's not like they wanted to do that, but you know, I think it's a scavenger crew or salvage crew, and yeah, they find some things out about the architects, and they find a little bit of a way how they may be able to stop them, and so that is what is in this book. I did enjoy the banter of the crew, so yeah, I do look forward to rereading this one. I don't mind that at all. And then next month, so in August, I can then read the second one, and I do think there's a third one out there as well, so I might then need to go ahead and buy the third one, depending on how much I like the second one. And then we have the last two books, which are technically one book, but I have the 2-book version, so I am counting them as 2 books, and that is The Way of Kings. I want to continue with the Brandon Sanderson series, and as you can see up there, I have the other ones as well, and like there are actually 6 on that shelf. So the next 3 books are in like 2 books each. And the thing is, it has been so long since I read this. I don't remember much. Same with the Architect series by Tchaikovsky, and so I decided I need to reread the first one, and so The Way of Kings it is. Those 2 are massive. Like, they are really, really big books, and this is technically 1 book, which, you know, is just a really massive undertaking, but I cannot continue with the series before I've read these 2, and I feel like I need to get this series done before I can actually get to Malice, because I just want to have the characters out of my mind, kind of. So, yeah. Though I do know that the series obviously isn't finished yet, but I think I have all the books. No, I might miss the 5th one. I think the 5th one might be out already. But you know, I can get to that once I get there, because obviously this will take me a few months. But yeah, we're gonna start with The Way of Kings again. I did really, really like this. So, you know, I know that I will enjoy the read. It's just a long read, and I needed to start at some point, so I decided July this year is the point to start, so I can read through the Brandon Sanderson books that I still have unread in this year. That is the game plan, so hopefully that will work out. But yeah, those are the 7 books that I have on my TBR. A lot of them are big, so I think that will be plenty to get through the next week and then through July. Because obviously, you know, I do have to do, like, I have work and stuff like that. It's not like I've an unimaginably big amount of time to read. So yeah, I think this is kind of like, you know, a sensible TBR. And I kind of need to get back to those. And also I'm looking forward to most of these books, technically to all of them except for the 2 BookBox books, but I need to do some progress with those, and I don't want to DNF them without trying them. So, you know, that is how I've chosen what I'm gonna read in the near future. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Maybe leave down below what books you plan on reading this month. If you have any, you know, like special reads that you need to get through, or why do you need to get through them, leave that down below. If you've read any of these, leave your opinion of them down below. I always like to hear that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching and being here. It would be really nice if you could subscribe and leave a like if you haven't done that yet. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!